Breaking Free, the Entrepreneur's Guide to Shattering Expectations and Embracing Growth. Welcome to the BlackCEO Podcast, where we dive deep into the minds of visionary leaders who are reshaping the business landscape. Today, we're in for a treat that's going to challenge everything you thought you knew about entrepreneurship, mental health, and personal growth. I recently had the incredible privilege of sitting down with Tam'ala La'Shae, a true maverick in the world of business coaching and personal development. Her insights aren't just thought-provoking, they're downright revolutionary. Tam'ala is more than just a successful entrepreneur. She's a beacon of hope for those struggling to find their path in the often tumultuous world of business. Her work has touched countless lives, empowering entrepreneurs to break free from societal constraints and forge their own unique paths to success. So, buckle up because we're about to embark on a journey that might just change the trajectory of your life and business forever. Imagine for a moment that you're trapped in a box. Not a physical box, mind you, but a metaphorical one. This box is constructed from the expectations of your family, the assumptions of your friends, and the norms of society. It's comfortable in there, isn't it? Familiar, safe. But here's the kicker. It's also suffocating your potential as an entrepreneur. Now, what if I told you that the key to unlocking your true potential lies in breaking out of that box? Sounds simple enough, right? Well, as anyone who's ever tried to challenge the status quo knows, it's anything but easy. Tam'ala La'Shae posits a radical idea that might just be the sledgehammer you need to break down those walls. She says, in business, the world is so much bigger than your family and friends. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, duh, of course, the world is bigger than my immediate circle. But let's dig deeper into what this really means, because it's far more profound than it might appear at first glance. Think about it. How many times have you held back on a business idea because your Aunt Martha said it was too risky? Or how often have you second-guessed your pricing strategy because your college roommate thought it was too expensive? We're constantly seeking validation from our immediate circle, aren't we? It's human nature. We want the approval of those closest to us. But here's the uncomfortable truth that Tam'ala forces us to confront. Sometimes the very people we love and trust the most can inadvertently hold us back. Now, before you start planning how to cut ties with everyone you know, let me clarify. Tam'ala isn't suggesting we ignore our loved ones and go rogue. No, she's advocating for something much more nuanced and powerful. She's urging us to expand our horizons, to seek out perspectives and opportunities beyond our immediate circle. It's about understanding that your potential customer base, your potential partners, your potential investors, they exist in a world far beyond your family dinner table or your high school reunion. Let me share a story that Tam'ala told me, which really brings this point home. She worked with an entrepreneur, let's call her Sarah, who had a brilliant idea for a sustainable fashion line. Sarah was passionate about reducing waste in the fashion industry and had developed an innovative process to turn recycled plastics into high-end clothing. But when she shared her idea with her family and friends, she was met with skepticism. Who's going to want to wear clothes made from trash? They asked. It's too niche, they said. You should stick to your day job, they advised. Sarah was crushed. She nearly gave up on her dream before it even began. But then she connected with Tam'ala, who encouraged her to look beyond her immediate circle. Tam'ala helped Sarah reach out to environmental groups, connect with eco-conscious fashion influencers, and attend sustainability conferences. And you know what? Sarah found her tribe. She discovered a whole world of people who were not only interested in her idea, but were excited about it. Today, Sarah's company is thriving with a loyal customer base and partnerships with major retailers who are trying to improve their environmental footprint. This story illustrates a crucial point. Your immediate circle, as well-intentioned as they may be, are not your target market. They're not the ones who will ultimately determine your success or failure in the business world. They're viewing your dreams through the lens of their own experiences and fears. And while their input can be valuable, it shouldn't be the be-all and end-all of your decision-making process. Now, let's talk about something that's often the elephant in the room in entrepreneurial circles: mental health. Tam'ala brings this issue front and center, and her perspective is refreshingly honest and deeply insightful. She argues that many entrepreneurs struggle to thrive because they need to unlearn certain things that were taught and instilled in them. Think about that for a moment. Unlearning. It's a powerful concept, isn't it? We often talk about learning new skills, acquiring new knowledge. But how often do we consider the importance of unlearning? Unlearning limiting beliefs, unlearning unhealthy coping mechanisms, unlearning the idea that stress and burnout are badges of honor in the entrepreneurial world. Tam'ala's approach to mental health in business is revolutionary because it acknowledges that our mental well-being is not separate from our business success. It's integral to it. She challenges the toxic hustle culture that has dominated entrepreneurial circles for far too long. You know the one I'm talking about? The sleep when you're dead mentality, the glorification of 80-hour work weeks. The idea that if you're not constantly stressed and overwhelmed, you're not working hard enough. But here's the truth bomb. Tam'ala drops. Your mental health is your most valuable business asset. Let that sink in for a moment. Your creativity, your decision-making ability, your resilience in the face of setbacks, all of these crucial entrepreneurial skills are directly tied to your mental well-being. By prioritizing your mental health, you're not being selfish or weak. You're making a strategic investment in your business. Let me share another story that Tam'ala told me, which really drives this point home. She worked with an entrepreneur, let's call him Mike, who was on the verge of burnout. Mike had built a successful tech startup, but the cost was steep. He was working 16-hour days, subsisting on a diet of coffee and takeout, and hadn't taken a day off in months. On paper, his business was thriving, but Mike was miserable. His relationships were suffering, his health was declining, and he'd lost the passion that had driven him to start his business in the first place. Tam'ala encouraged Mike to take a step back and reassess. Instead of focusing solely on business metrics, she asked him to consider his personal growth. How had he evolved as a leader? What new skills had he developed? What lessons had he learned from his failures? She also challenged him to prioritize his mental health, encouraging him to set boundaries, make time for self-care, and rediscover the hobbies and relationships he'd neglected. At first, Mike was resistant. He worried that taking his foot off the gas would cause his business to falter. But slowly, he began to implement Tam'ala's suggestions. And you know what? His business didn't suffer. In fact, it thrived. Because when Mike showed up as a healthier, more balanced version of himself, he made better decisions. He was more creative. He was able to inspire and lead his team more effectively. His improved mental state even helped him come up with innovative solutions to problems that had been plaguing the business for months. This story illustrates a crucial point that Tam'ala emphasizes. Success in business is not just about what you achieve, but who you become in the process. It's about personal growth as much as it is about business growth. And the two are inextricably linked. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, that sounds great, but how do I actually do that? How do I prioritize my mental health when I have a million things on my plate and the success of my business hanging in the balance? Well, Tam'ala has some insights on that too. She emphasizes the importance of the process. Your process, in whatever phase you're in, is what's going to create, shape, and mold you into the person you need to be to thrive on your next level. It's not about reaching some arbitrary destination or achieving a specific goal. It's about embracing the journey, learning from each experience, and constantly evolving. This perspective is a game changer because it shifts our focus from the end result to the present moment. It encourages us to find value and growth opportunities in every phase of our entrepreneurial journey, even the challenging ones, especially the challenging ones. Tam'ala also talks about another key insight: the importance of showing up for yourself just like you show up for others. This is particularly relevant for entrepreneurs who are often in the business of solving problems for others, meeting customer needs, and supporting their teams. How many times have you pushed yourself to the limit to meet a client deadline, but consistently postponed your own self-care? How often have you bent over backwards to accommodate a team member's needs while neglecting your own? Tam'ala challenges us to extend the same level of commitment and care to ourselves that we so readily offer to others. This isn't about being selfish, it's about being sustainable. It's about recognizing that you can't pour from an empty cup. By prioritizing your own needs, your mental health, your personal growth, your work-life balance, you're actually putting yourself in a better position to serve others and lead your business effectively. Tam'ala's approach reminds me of the safety instructions we hear on airplanes. You know the ones: in case of an emergency, put on your own oxygen mask before assisting others. It seems counterintuitive at first. Shouldn't we help others first? But the logic is sound. If you run out of oxygen yourself, you won't be able to help anyone else. The same principle applies in business. By taking care of your own mental health and personal growth, you're ensuring that you have the resources, the energy, the creativity, the resilience to lead your business and support your team effectively. But here's where Tam'ala's insight gets really powerful. She doesn't just tell us to take care of ourselves, she encourages us to celebrate our growth process, to find joy and fulfillment in the journey, not just the destination. To recognize that every challenge, every setback, every moment of doubt is an opportunity for growth and learning. This perspective is liberating because it frees us from the tyranny of perfection. It allows us to embrace our mistakes and failures as valuable learning experiences rather than catastrophic setbacks. It encourages us to be kinder to ourselves, to practice self compassion alongside self improvement. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds great in theory, but how do I actually implement these ideas in my day to day life as an entrepreneur? Well, Tam'ala has some practical advice on that front too. First, she emphasizes the importance of self awareness. Take time to reflect on your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. What triggers your stress? What brings you joy? What are your strengths? And where do you need support? This self knowledge is crucial for making informed decisions about your business and your personal growth. Second, she encourages us to set boundaries. This might mean saying no to opportunities that don't align with your values or goals. It might mean setting specific work hours and sticking to them. It might mean carving out time for self care even when your to do list seems endless. Remember, boundaries aren't selfish, they're necessary for sustainable success. Third, Tam'ala advocates for continuous learning and unlearning. Stay curious. Be open to new ideas and perspectives, but also be willing to question your assumptions and let go of beliefs or habits that no longer serve you. This might be uncomfortable at times, but it's essential for growth. Fourth, she emphasizes the importance of community. Surround yourself with people who support your growth, challenge your thinking, and inspire you to be your best self. This might include mentors, peers, coaches, or support groups. Remember, even as you're breaking out of the box of your immediate circle's expectations, you're building a new, broader network that aligns with your vision and values. Lastly, Tam'ala encourages us to celebrate our progress, no matter how small. Did you have a difficult conversation you've been putting off? Celebrate that. Did you take a day off to recharge without feeling guilty? That's worth celebrating too. By acknowledging and appreciating our growth, we reinforce positive behaviors and build momentum. As we wrap up this exploration of Tam'ala La'Shae's insights, I want to leave you with a challenge, a call to action that might just change the course of your entrepreneurial journey. I challenge you to break free from the box that's been constraining your potential, to look beyond your immediate circle for validation and support, to prioritize your mental health as if it were your most valuable business asset, because it is, to embrace the process of growth and change, even when it's uncomfortable, to show up for yourself with the same dedication and care that you show to others. I challenge you to redefine what success means to you. Is it just about the bottom line? Or is it about becoming the best version of yourself in the process of building your business? Is it about reaching a specific destination, or is it about growing and learning every step of the way? I challenge you to be brave enough to unlearn, to question the beliefs and habits that have been holding you back, to let go of the toxic hustle culture that glorifies burnout and embrace a more sustainable, fulfilling approach to entrepreneurship. I challenge you to build a community that supports your growth, to seek out mentors, peers, and advisors who understand your vision and can help you achieve it, to be that supportive force for others in return. And finally, I challenge you to celebrate your journey, to find joy and fulfillment, not just in your achievements, but in your efforts, your learnings, your resilience in the face of setbacks. Remember, the world of business is indeed bigger than your family and friends. It's a vast landscape of opportunities, challenges, and growth. But the most important relationship in that landscape is the one you have with yourself. By breaking free from constraining expectations, prioritizing your mental health, embracing your growth process, and showing up for yourself, you're not just building a successful business, you're building a fulfilling life. So, let me ask you this. How will you break free today? How will you honor your mental health? How will you embrace your growth process? The answers to these questions could be the key to unlocking your true potential as an entrepreneur and as a human being. As you leave this talk today, I want you to carry with you the wisdom of Tam'ala La'Shae. Let her insights be the catalyst for your transformation. Let them inspire you to break free from the boxes that have been holding you back, to prioritize your mental well being, and to embrace the beautiful, messy, exhilarating process of growth. Because here's the truth: you have the power to redefine success on your own terms. You have the ability to build a business and a life that aligns with your values and fulfills you on a deep level. You have the strength to break free from societal expectations and forge your own path. So go forth and break those boxes, prioritize your mental health, embrace your journey of growth, show up for yourself, celebrate your progress. And remember, in the vast world of business and life, the most important expectations to meet are your own. Thank you